Let's check
Lily.
your camera and mic. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What the
Just
fuck?
click the button.
What button?
The button that says "Let's check your camera and mic."
There's no button.
The blue button.
It says enter broadcast studio. Okay.
You're so dumb.
Guys, I'm beyond.
Here we are, and welcome to the Friday Night Movie Podcast.
Okay, ready? Okay.
Well, it took so long.
Took too long.
No,
It
okay,
took
ready?
too long.
Let's go. Okay.
It's like honking you at a red light.
Okay, ready?
She didn't even tap hunky. She full on hunked you.
Okay. Here we are, and welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast, where today my sisters and I are going to play our signature game, Buy, Rent, Meh. We are going to buy, rent, meh the Emmy nominations for 2020. Lily, Becky, are you ready to talk Emmys?
Yes.
What?
Wait,
Becky looks confused. Becky just looked like she was like, wait a minute, that's what this episode is about?
No, I was pulling up the list. I have a great...
lives at a daycare. Number one. Number two.
I live at a daycare.
Shy, if you think that running a fucking Passover Zoom Seder was annoying, can you imagine the idiot that has to run the Zoom Emmys? Because they're doing it virtually. If you could not pay that person enough money to have to deal with that.
I mean, they're probably going to use StreamYard.
I mean, maybe. What do we now have sponsors now? They could use Zoom also.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Emmys. And the Emmy nominations dropped, and we usually have opinions, but everyone's giving their opinion and their hot takes and their snubs and this and that, but not many shows have what we have, which is Buy, Rent, or Meh, our signature game. And so today's edition of Buy, Rent, or Meh is going to go this way. I'm going to name a category, I'm going to name the nominees, and you can buy, rent, or meh one person. So there will be some that are just left out with nothing. Okay, so that means you're sort of taking the 5 to 10 people that are nominated, or randomly 3 sometimes, but in general 5 to 10 people that are nominated, or shows that are nominated, and one will get a buy, one will get a rent, and one will get a meh, and the rest will get nothing. So without further ado,
I have a quick question.
Yes.
What is the rules of how many people in a category?
I don't know the rules.
I don't
at all.
understand.
They don't make any sense. I don't understand.
Is it 10?
That
is
I don't.
It 5? Is it 8? Isn't there a limit?
And it seems that
Everybody
30 minutes.
Can get nominated?
30 minutes is the only thing that you actually need to be a comedy. I mean, there are funny shows that are comedies, but there are shows that I think could easily be dramas that end up comedies all the time.
Absolutely. It's so stupid. Okay, keep going.
All right. So speaking of comedy, let's start at the top. And we are reading off of the New York Times' list here. The best comedy, so people want to follow along the New York Times full list.
Wait, hold on. Before we get into the list, I want to give a quick knee-jerk reaction I had when the Emmys were. I want to be transparent about my feelings towards the nominations before we get into it. So you know that I do have biases. So when the list first came out,
yes, keep going.
When the list first came out, I rushed to open it, and I'm scrolling through. And the only thing I wanted to know is how many nominations, which nominations Schitt's Creek got. It was the only thing I cared about. I was so stressed that they wouldn't be nominated that it was like it was like a very it raised my cortisol levels looking through it because I just needed to see their nominations. And once I read that all 4 of them had been nominated, I was like, okay, I can relax. Now we can get into it.
And but I wasn't surprised. I felt like this is, if there was a Schitt's Creek year, now that things like Modern Family are over, that won for no reason over and over and over again, it's an open year where something interesting can actually win. So under Best Comedy, we have Curb Your Enthusiasm, Dead to Me, The Good Place, Insecure, The Kaminsky Method, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Schitt's Creek, and What We Do in the Shadows. Which do you buy? Which do you rent? And which do you meh?
Oh, God.
I have my answers. I will start to give you time.
Wait. I need to be able to follow along. Best Comedy. Okay, this is for Best Comedy.
Yeah, it's the New York Times list. I put the link, so you should be able to follow. And you can follow at home if you want to follow while you're listening.
Oh, God.
So for me,
I don't think this is a bad category, by the way. Like, I don't think
this is good quality
I don't
stuff.
know if there's, like, snubs
Okay,
or
but
whatever,
here's some interesting things, because it's
terrible.
which season of the episodes, because like this season, the current season of Insecure. No, the current season of Insecure now, is that the one that's nominated, or the one from from like last summer?
No, it's last year. Up until
right, because this season of Insecure is phenomenal. It's so well done. And that would be a contender to buy. But last season of Insecure was like fine. Like, it wasn't for me a buy. But this,
right, we're talking about last season.
So I think it's not. So what's really important about discussing this is that we're not talking about shows as a whole. We have to be very season specific.
That's what, Becky, everybody knows that the Emmys are.
Everyone knows that, but there could be confusion of because things don't come out anymore in the typical, like, first episode of the season is September, right? They kind of come out in all these different, and they're 8 episodes or 10 episodes.
So here's
sometimes
how
they're a year apart. Sometimes the seasons are 6 months apart. So sometimes it's hard to track.
This is this is last season of Schitt's Creek.
And the last season
of 5 or season 6? Season 5 or season 6 of Schitt's Creek?
There is no season 6.
There is. It's in Canada. It's the rare things where it came to Canada first, like Beaver Tales.
Beaver Tales. How much do you want one right now? So, but do you see what I'm saying? Is that, are we talking about season 6 of Schitt's Creek or season 5 of Schitt's Creek?
No, I think that this is season 6, right, Shay? This is the last season.
But I haven't seen season 6, so how can I comment?
Whatever the one is the last season of The Good Place, I'm assuming. So whatever came out of the same by as late as that. I'm actually not that fussed about which season. I can answer this either way, because my meh is Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, beyond overrated show.
No, you didn't even see it. You don't get it right.
I started watching it with Hy Rosenberg, or whatever the name of the singer was. Hy Goodman.
I feel like I deserve
Shy Baldwin.
Shy Baldwin. Jeez, I'm an idiot.
Because I recounted
my own name.
the season. I recounted you the season, and I was like, "This is the worst piece of shit ever." I'm making you listen to me tell you what happened.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That saved me. In fact,
it was so bad.
Becky has pitched a spin-off podcast where you just tell an entire show or episode for people, so they don't have to watch the show.
And last night, I started doing it with Vlad, like accidentally, with the whole other new show I'm watching, which we'll get into. He got so excited. He was like, "Wait a minute, this is the podcast you were pitching me." I'm like, "It is." He's like, "I'm never going to watch this reality show, but I love hearing you explain it."
We've got a couple of new podcasts brewing in the Friday Night Movie world, spinoffs, and one of them involves basically the Sparks Notes of or the Cliff Notes of shows as told by Lily Corman. So Mrs. Maisel is my meh. I think it's just a super overrated show, and Schitt's Creek is my buy, and I'm going to give my rent to The Good Place. That's more of like an emotional one. The last season of The Good Place was fine, but that's sort of like it's like an honorable mention for the fact that some other year when Modern Family won again, The Good Place probably should have won. But this year, to me, Schitt's Creek is the buy all the way. So I'm going to buy Schitt's Creek and rent Good Place and meh, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. How about... I can't. Okay, same.
No, I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of really deep feels right now.
Except I'm gonna Bleh the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Ooh,
that was the worst.
A rare use of Bleh.
It should have been. It should have been in like the musical whatever comedy, the musical variety
Golden Globe
category. There was so many fucking musical numbers in that season. I was like, I did not sign up for this.
I have to say, I am over it. I'm having Schitt's Creek is my buy because that is the greatest. I mean, it really is. I think like this the greatest show. I've watched it from beginning to end multiple times every single episode, which I really haven't done with anything. But my problem after that is that both Insecure and What We Do in the Shadows each bring something really special and completely different to my life. You know, like I love them equally for very, very different reasons. So it's hard to choose, but I'm going to make a choice. No, it's really hard because...
Well, we have other categories.
I was gonna say,
so
like,
I'm
right,
going to say
and I was
Becky's
also
out
gonna
of
say,
time.
Like, we want to
and-
hear what you have to say, but it's also like not therapy. So just make
Yeah,
a
you
decision.
just have to give the answer and explain why. And I will just say this, Insecure and What We Do in the Shadows are both ones I would have given awards to, but I haven't watched enough of them, so I just kind of left them out. Like, I have an incomplete grade, but that's my fault. It's not on them, right?
Okay, well, I'm so happy we cut off my time to make sure you had more time to explain. But let's move on to the next category.
All right, best drama.
It's like ushering someone off the stage and then finishing your speech.
If Lily has already made up her mind by the time you are in your second time where you go, then yes, the music is playing.
Best drama. I haven't even seen...
So for best drama, we've got Better Call Saul,
obviously.
The Crown, The Handmaid's Tale, Killing Eve.
I haven't seen any of these.
The Mandalorian.
Yes, you have.
Ozark, Stranger Things.
Ozark and Mandalorian.
Okay, I can go first. I know. I'm going
Succession.
first. I'm buying The Mandalorian because it was the most fun and something I'll watch over and over again. I'm renting Killing Eve because it's a... Can I finish? It's my favorite show, and if they're putting it in that category, that's not my fault. That's their fault. So I'm going to buy Mandalorian because that's the one I would watch over and over again. I'm going to rent Killing Eve because for me, it's a really fun in-the-moment show that my brain then deletes, and then I watch again when it's on. And I am going to miss Succession because there is nothing I want to see less than rich people being miserable.
Oh, then don't watch any of the shows that Lily and I watch, like Billions and stuff like that.
No, but it's a different level of miserable. It's like toxic miserable, evil. Like, it's just, no. It's like, you're so rich. Like, tell me about a real problem you have. These aren't real problems.
I agree with Becky.
I don't care how artfully it's made.
Becky coming in with the hardcore decisiveness in this round. Well done, Becky. The Mandalorian, I'm with Becky. I think it was dramatic. If you did not have emotions when Baby Yoda does anything on that show, then you have no heart. So it's definitely dramatic. I also think it was like the biggest risk. It was a huge risk on Disney's part to do this while all the issues with the sequel trilogy are going around, and Favreau, Taika Waititi, David Filoni, they come in and they crushed it with that. I'm going to give my meh to Stranger Things because I thought this season, the way they did Hopper's character was so annoying. I don't even care if he's still alive in the Upside Down or whatever. It almost would
be easier if they just just I don't need to know he's in Siberia or wherever.
And
they killed him off.
And they made Finn Wolfhard into a douche. Like, it was just like it was the best character in that one was the horrible brother, Billy. So that one to me was a big meh. And then I haven't really seen the others, but I'm just going to rent Ozark because of the shows on this list. Even though I've seen Killing Eve's first season, I really liked it. The one of these shows that I want to see the most next is Ozark. So that's going to be my rent. Lil?
That's the correct answer.
Well, you actually watch Ozark.
I would say that Ozark. Yeah, I would say Ozark is really good. If I have to put the latest season up though against Mandalorian, then I guess I enjoyed Mandalorian more because this season of Ozark was a bit tough. But I think as a drama, Ozark wins. So, I'm sorry, Mandalorian was cool, but as a television drama, I give the bye to Ozark. I'll rent Mandalorian just as a second place, and Stranger Things was the worst. It was the worst. I was so disappointed. So they were like, let's make everybody on the show a teenager now. Even the adults. So annoying.
I love it. Okay, best limited series. This is one where I actually saw some of them, not a couple of them actually. And
wait, does that mean Watchmen is not having more seasons?
No, it might have a second season, but that season, as far as Damon Lindenhoff, the guy who was the showrunner of that season, like as far as he's said, that is a self-contained story. He did not make that story so that there would be more. And in some respects, it's so well done, in my opinion, that I kind of don't. I like the unknown and the way it ends, and like any more could ruin it, but. We'll just see. I would take another anthology story in the Watchmen universe. But anyways, so you've got Little Fires Everywhere, which I saw. Mrs. America, which I didn't see. Unbelievable.
Which one's Mrs. America?
I don't know. It's got Margot Martindale, though, so I'm listening.
Oh, I like her.
Unorthodox, which I feel like is a very on-the-nose name for a show about Orthodox Jews. And... Watchmen on
You're
HBO.
Like, you can think of anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Let's make sure people know.
It's the name.
It's sure people know.
But it is the name of the book. It's the name of the book the show is based on. But yeah,
who would like to go first?
I'll
go first.
think
I've been meaning to see Unbelievable. I haven't gotten a chance to go first yet, so I'm going first. I've been meaning to see Unbelievable, but haven't gotten a chance to. So it doesn't count. I'm gonna man Little Fires Everywhere because Shy pulled a Lily and told me the entire show, like the whole limited series.
I did a good job recounting it though, and I gave good context. I thought I reflected a lot on like the meaning of the show, and like I didn't tank it to you when we talked.
You just hated the ending.
I hated the ending, but I have adjusted my feelings about it.
I would not have liked it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So no. So that I may.
I feel like it would have me.
It would have what?
Lily, are you cracking nuts or almonds or something over there? What's going on over there? It's a very exhausting movie. Becky, your emotional state is not good for Little Fires Everywhere.
I have to tell you, based on what I'm watching these days, I'm very fragile because I don't watch anything that requires even the tiniest bit of emotional work. It's embarrassing.
Can I finish, please?
Yes.
No, your time is up. It's my turn now.
I'm going to buy Unorthodox because though I've reflected heavily upon it since and read like people from the stuff from like the Statmer community, and like I do think that there's parts of it that maybe are a bit like questionable. I thought it was brilliant and scary and incredibly acted. And quite riveting. So I'm going to buy that. And I'm going to rent Watchmen only because there's like 3 episodes in the middle that I literally spent the entire time going, what? And the beginning and the end was really good. But there's like a bunch of episodes in there that I just texted Shy and I was like, this is painful. I don't understand what's happening.
You didn't like the catapulting of the dead. You didn't like the catapulting of the dead bodies.
It's just like Lily, there's a lot of weird stuff in the middle. But it's good.
What is the crackling sound? What nuts have you been cracking this whole time?
I don't know what to tell you.
Or is like Becky clipping her nails? What is happening?
No, I did that last night as part of my shower routine. So like my self-care.
Do you like to clip your nails when they're hard or soft from the shower? I like when they're like nice and crispy, like before the shower. And then I
like doing that too. But my nails are so thick and strong, like so much calcium in me that it can be like painful. Because they're so tough.
Not
because they're so long, because they're so tough.
Do you remember looking at mom's nails growing up? They looked
do you remember mom used to use that baby scissors to cut your nails and it hurt so much? It was like an actual scissor and I hate it. Oh,
that's a cuticle cutter.
No, she had like a little baby scissors that she would use to cut your nails. And I can still feel the pain of like, oh, it was horrible. And she'd always be like, there's no nerves in your nails. This doesn't hurt. And I'd be like, it hurts.
Is she a doctor?
Well, if you are,
is this better, guys?
Sort of. If you are listening to this episode and it sounds a little disjointed just because we had some technical difficulties, but we're back online and we are about to talk about Best Actress in Comedy. The nominees for Best Actress in Comedy are Christina Applegate for Dead to Me, Rachel Brosnahan for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Linda Cardellini for Dead to Me, Tracy Ellis Ross for Blackish, Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek, Issa Rae for Insecure. Let me go first here. I'm gonna sort of surprise you guys, and I'm gonna go with my buy is gonna be Issa Rae. I really have not seen much Insecure, but so my argument for her is that I think she is doing something like comedically that is just fantastic by weaving her life, but in a way that isn't like the annoying Louis C.K. kind of way. It's that specificity,
or in the Lena Dunham way.
Yeah, it's like the specificity makes it relatable, and so for me, I think she's really special. And that movie Lovebirds, this like I'm also just adding in because she was so great in Lovebirds that and in what was it called? Little? I think it was like reverse. It was Reverse Big.
She's so funny.
That was so good.
So like this is like
funny.
my year of connecting with Issa Rae. So I'm gonna give her my buy. I'm gonna give my rent to Christina Applegate because I think she is just perennially amazing. And
but you're giving these people these awards and not for the shows though, that because you haven't seen them.
Yeah.
No, I've seen Dead to Me. I thought, but she's just always great. And then I'm going to marry Rachel Brosnahan because everyone knows what I think about Mrs. Maisel and specifically her portrayal, which drives me nuts. And so, and look, I realize I'm leaving out Catherine O'Hara, who is obviously a genius in Schitt's Creek, but for me,
yeah, Shay, that's brutal.
As great as she is in this, so I'm reversing it. Like Catherine O'Hara's over is so big for me. Yes, the Schitt's Creek character is really great, but for me, I don't know. These other ones kind of.
Okay, so now that I'm gonna play by the rules of the actual awards ceremony, which is for the character for the show of the season that is nominated of like the current season, and based on that, I want no part of me believes that anybody really wrote Moira to be Moira like that. Catherine O'Hara embodied Moira into her spirit and then created this creature of
genius
accent and intonation and genius in the singing and the little things where she just says a bebe, like it's.
She did invent the accent, right?
That
she
cannot
invented
have
it for
been
the show.
Written. Even just
100%, she invented it.
Acting in her relationships to her wigs is coming from a very deep method place. Like nobody can write that. You have to become that. So she is a buy. All
right. I changed mine. Becky has 100% convinced me.
Yeah, that was weird.
But
Becky's
I'm really
like,
having
for your
a big
consideration.
Okay, but I understand where Shai's coming from. It's like that year Melissa McCarthy won for like some TV show no one's ever seen, but everyone's like, it's because of Bridesmaids. Like that's, it's like that. Then after that, I rent Issa Rae because I agree with what Shai's saying, but forget about even all the other wonderful stuff she's been in and been doing. Insecure, I love that show. I love that character. I feel like it's a challenging role because she is so funny and very deep. This character, and what makes this character so deep is like the way it's written and the growth. And I think really just the way that she performs it, and it's very vulnerable. It's anyway, so total rent. Like it's kind of just below the buy, because I have to. And then I agree, man, Rachel Brosnahan. Like I'm over it. Thanks, no thanks.
I feel like
I'm done with you representing our people.
I was early on the bandwagon there. All right, Lily, what are you gonna?
Buying Moira, obviously. There's no contest. She should win. I'm gonna change it up and I'm gonna rent Applegate because I think that like I have to imagine it's hard to be that funny in like such a dark show. And she's not in any way. I just think her timing is fantastic. I think she's so funny, but it's extremely dark. And she's fantastic on that show. And then I'm obviously gonna Maisel.
Yeah,
so
Maisel's taking a beating on this show this year. All right.
Oof.
Okay, now let's see. Best actor in a comedy. I have strong feelings about this. Anthony Anderson in Blackish, Don Cheadle in Black Monday, Ted Danson in The Good Place.
Although, can I just quickly say, for the other category, according to your rules, Shy, Tracy Ellis Ross should win because she's the funniest on Instagram. So
No, I didn't say anything about Instagram.
There should be social media awards. There
probably exist.
They're like just under the MTV, movie awards or something.
Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method, Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek, Rami Youssef for Rami.
What's that?
I have strong feelings about this. Do you want me to go first or last?
Go first.
So I am going to buy Don Cheadle, although I have to. Well, okay. If we're going by the rules of this, I've got to actually buy Eugene Levy because Eugene Levy in Schitt's Creek is masterful, and I saw the first season of Black Monday and thought it was amazing. And Don Cheadle, to me, just as I'm watching him, is just one of the greatest actors of our time. Season 2 of Black Monday is totally bizarre. It's almost like it feels like a different show, and so like I have to like asterisk, and I'm only a few episodes into it. I want to give Don Cheadle all awards when he's nominated.
I agree.
I'll rent him. But to me, like, I don't know how many awards he has won, but that guy is just, he can do comedy, drama.
Like, is there a Don Cheadle situation you don't love? Because I think I love all Don Cheadle situations. Like, he is wonderful.
He's wonderful. And he can do funny and serious drama. And anyways, so he's fantastic in Black Monday, but I got to rent because like Eugene Levy, Schitt's Creek, all of that. And then I'm going to Michael Douglas and The Kaminsky Method. Maybe I'm being ageist or something like that, but I am suspicious of. I watched 10 minutes of that show and turned it off. Mom was like, "It's so good. It's old people making old people jokes," and I just think we deserve better.
Why? Like, do you ever watch Grace and Frankie?
I like that show, but I don't love that show. But like I like that show, but I don't love that show because I think it's a little bit repetitive. But similarly, maybe it's because I don't relate to it, and I'll own that. Like,
no. I do think Grace and Frankie is repetitive, and I think it's a good show, not a great show. But I wonder why. But I wonder why, if they're both like about old people, why that one is better.
Grace and Frankie.
Kaminsky, I've seen both, and Kaminsky Method is a bit more serious. So I think Grace and Frankie's like full comedy, where there's some sad drama.
But isn't Kaminsky Method another one of these also like actor show about actors who are washed up and creepy? Like I'd rather watch Barry if I'm going to watch people in Hollywood be.
No, not really. There's some it's like Hollywood adjacent. He's an acting teacher, so it's not like.
Yeah, have you seen Barry, Lily?
Yeah, not the whole thing, but I see what you're saying, but it's not really based on that. It's just more about like the friendships and life of these.
Fair enough. Maybe I was just like, it started off and I was like, old Jewish guy's an acting teacher. If it isn't Henry Winkler, I'm not interested.
How many more categories are we doing? Because I got like 9 more minutes.
No. We're gonna jump around a little bit next.
Okay.
But I like comedies are important to us. Like how much I don't care about not because I don't care about this, but like the shows in that are for best actress and frankly best actor for drama are not shows like I like all the actors, but I'm not invested in whether or not Steve Carell is going to win something for the morning show. So we're just going to skip that. If that's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I do want to at least let's actually breeze through some categories just to talk about ones that mean something to us. So like best actress in a limited series or TV movie, to me, Regina King in Watchmen is absolutely on a whole other level. She is an action star. She's romantic. She's vulnerable. She does everything in that role, and it's fantastic. And she's funny too. So for me, that's one I really care about, but I'm not particularly invested otherwise. Is there anyone in that category you guys care about?
For best actress
in a limited series or movie?
No, but best actor in a limited series or movie. Lily, what's his name? Connell from Normal People.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Is nominated,
and you think he should win? Can you read who the other people are?
Jeremy Irons,
Hugh Jackman, Jeremy Pope for Hollywood, and Mark Ruffalo for I Know This Much Is True.
Much is true.
So I haven't seen
those are some heavy hitters.
any of the other ones. A little bit of Watchmen, for which I'm sorry, for what I've seen, I would not give Jeremy Irons an award for that. He's just playing a weirdo. Sorry,
I feel like they were just like, be yourself.
Yeah.
And like make sure you go heavy on your accent.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But I could see, like Hugh Jackman, Mark Ruffalo. Oof, those are like I don't know who Jeremy Pope is, and I haven't seen Hollywood, but I got to tell you, I loved Normal People so much, and that character, I would for sure buy that. I mean, that for me, I'm rooting for him. I don't think he'll win, but I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, like I don't think he'll win, but he deserves to be amongst those other actors.
And
sure,
you know what? She deserved to be nominated, and I'm a little sad to see that he's nominated and she's not.
A bit bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Melanie would agree with us.
Yeah.
Anyways. Any other category that you're...
Who's Melanie? Oh, Melanie Lubin.
Yeah.
Who did the Normal People episode with us.
I'm sorry. It's because I was reading the nominations of the women, and I was like, there's no Melanie nominated here. Who's Melanie? I thought it was...
one day when this podcast is so big, we can have nominees for Best Guest Star of the Year.
Right.
And we could just have nominee for Best Lubin who appeared on the show.
And then maybe when we hit it big, Becky will remember the episodes we recorded.
I got a lot of messages about the Melanie Lubin episodes from people, friends who listened to that one, and they thought it was really cool. So it's
a really good one.
I'm very invested also because I love comedy. I'm very invested in supporting actress for comedy. This one I wouldn't mind breaking down a little bit. Alex Bornstein for Maisel, Betty Gilpin for Glow, Darcy Carden for The Good Place.
Oof.
Maureen Hinkle for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Kate McKinnon for Saturday Night Live, Annie Murphy for Schitt's Creek, Yvonne Orji.
That's a tough category.
This is
Insecure, and Cecily Strong for Saturday Night Live. That's a tough one,
hard.
Right?
I don't think I'd be able to vote in this one.
Although I really do think though that Darcy Garden, am I saying
Darcy
that right?
Carden?
Yeah.
Carden, I really think she deserves to be recognized. Like she's fundamental to the very specific.
I feel very happy if she won. Molly from Insecure is nominated, and I think she's so good in this season. Again, like the current season is phenomenal, but truly the absolute funniest supporting performer is actor is the one that plays the friend Kelly. I'm looking up her name now. It's Natasha Rothwell. There is not a moment that woman is not on screen where you are not cackling.
Wow.
She is,
but she's
so
not
funny.
nominated.
She's not nominated, but I wanted to give her a shout out by saying I love that the woman that plays Molly is nominated. But yeah,
can I just say though that do you think that Saturday Night Live is that supposed to be in this category? Is that the same?
I mean, they put it somewhere. I don't know. For me, Darcy Carden.
Yeah,
that last season of The Good Place is I feel like she is the glue. She plays so many different versions of herself in that season. It's
other people too.
Yeah, she's fantastic in that. And Betty Gilpin would be my other big one here but I don't view Glow as a comedy. I view Glow as a really well-made drama that just happens to be a half hour long. But to me, Betty Gilpin was the breakout, or not the breakout, but she was the kind of powerhouse star of the most recent season of Glow. So I'm into
for sure. It's just not a comedy. It's such bullshit.
And then I'm always rooting for Dan Levy as supporting actor. I want him to win. He deserves to be recognized for his show and his performance. And his performance, because he mixes vulnerability with comedy, and he's also the creator. But if not him, then Andre Braugher should win over and over.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we know that when Tony Shalhoub wins for this, the three of us are going to be like, "Come on, for fuck's sake!"
I mean, that guy also has 100 Emmys already.
I understand that they had to divide up, Eugene, Dan, Annie, and Catherine of the Schitt's Creek cast. You need to get each of them a nomination, so they're not competing against each other. But is Dan Levy really the supporting actor in that show? Isn't he the lead actor and his dad is the supporting character?
I think the four of them are supporting, and they just decided to honor the elders.
There's a strategy behind it.
There's obviously a strategy. There's definitely a strategy because it's an ensemble.
It's what the strategy was.
Which one of them is most likely to win for a lead comedy role as an underdog? Eugene Levy has such a resume that him and
Right.
Catherine O'Hara as the leads with the top billing
Yeah.
makes sense. Dan
Yeah.
Levy, I could see more
it's
likely
Levy.
people being Levy.
It's Levy, yeah.
Because
Like-
Levy is who Lily went to high school with, and Levy is the actor,
Well, I think
and that's what I remember.
Well,
Levy
either
is
way.
the actor. Yeah.
Dan from the House of Levite, he will be I think that like it's sort of like Best Supporting is a real wild card, so he could win for that. Anyways, I feel like
can we just like recognize though, like it's pretty awesome how many like diverse people there are on this category though. Like for God's sakes, like Andre Bauer, right? Like you have Tony Shalhoub, Kenan Thompson, Mahershala Ali, and then you have Sterling K. Brown. You also have Dan Levy, who's Jewish. Alan Arkin, who's Jewish.
Okay, this was a lot of fun. Becky, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at PaperBKPrincess. You will see I have been super active on it lately. Not because I like or understand Twitter, but because I really have just been totally devouring podcast episodes of the JV Club with Janet Varney. And so I've been getting very excited and tweeting and supporting their show and becoming a Max Fun
Diamond level supporter. Both of us became that.
Yeah. So that's
separately.
been,
that's not one account we're sharing, Max Fun people.
Yeah. So I've been more on Twitter. So tweet at me and I might be around. So there you go.
Becky is fun on Twitter. She's like, she needs encouragement. So people embrace her sense of humor.
But not too much. But no, embrace my sense of humor, but don't tweet at me too much because I get very confused of the threads and where I'm replying to things.
Oh, Lily's still liking her own tweets.
Hey, I like and then I unlike right away. They notice right away.
Lily, where can people follow you?
GGK Gomez, ChiChiK Gomez on Twitter and Letterboxd.
The Gomez way.
And you can follow me at Pancake for Table on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow all of the Friday Night Movie shenanigans at Fry Night Movie on Twitter and Instagram. You can also go to FridayNightMoviePod.com if you want to see everything that we're working on. Maybe even one day soon, our Becky's awesome spin-off ideas will be there. Our family is supporting the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and the Equal Justice Initiative as part of our solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. And please go check out those organizations and learn about what they're doing. And if you see fit, please go ahead and support them. We are supporting them, and they do fantastic and really important work. Our theme song here at Friday Night Movie Podcast is by What Does It Eat? Check out our latest album, Sidecar, that is on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else. And it's about 80s TV characters. There's even a lyric/animated video that goes along with it to explain everything. And with that, we dance our way into the evening. Love you guys. Bye.
Dancing.
So long. She up already?
Yeah.
Well, I guess she slept 45 minutes. It's not the worst. No,
I guess
but
we're
like no one
podcasting,
woke
Becky.
her.
Mute yourself, goddammit.
Okay, 45. It's not bad. You know, yesterday, by the way, her nap was only 15 minutes.
Have a fucking
And then
mute
she did another 15 minutes later.
Okay.
I can mute her.
Yeah, I thought I was in control here. All right. Sorry.
Okay.
Mine's like.